This is Valley News Live at noon.
New at noon, a sex offender is back in jail after police say he picked up a teenager and sexually assaulted them yesterday in Jamestown. Police say 71-year-old Thomas Remick found a teen walking around town and offered them a ride in his car. The teen later told police Remick drove around town and then sexually assaulted them. Remick was arrested for sexual assault, corruption of a minor, and failure to register as a sex offender. A check of North Dakota records shows Remick was convicted of gross sexual imposition in 2015 and corruption of a minor in 1995. Also new at noon out of Stutsman County, one man is facing charges after police say he wrote fake checks and cashed them at several North Dakota banks. Police were called to Bank Forward in Jamestown yesterday for a fake check that was cashed. Officials say they learned similar fake checks were cashed in other cities throughout southeastern North Dakota. All of those checks were forged or stolen from a Grand Forks business. The suspect, 37-year-old Clinton Dollins of Fargo, was later arrested in Carrington for suspicion of forgery. As we heat up in the valley, there's a chance for some storms tonight, so let's go to Summer Schnellbach with a look at your forecast. Summer?
Thank you so much, JC. Some of us already waking up to some rain showers for the first half of our day. They are exiting the Grand Forks region, but you can see the ground is still wet. The skies are still a bit dark. So let's get a check today of your morning first alert headlines. Showers and thunder will be clearing as we progress into this afternoon. Temperatures, we will see a big spread across the region. Cool to the northeast, hot south, with some areas potentially warming into the triple digits. Then there is a chance, a possibility of some severe weather this evening with hail, wind, isolated tornado. More of that in just a second. But here are those showers right now on radar, seeing the most of them still in portions of Beltrami County and Lake of the Woods. Then tonight, this area in yellow is where we're watching. That's a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe, scattered with isolated intensity. It's going to be a conditional threat, JC. I'll explain what that means coming up in just a few minutes, so stick around.
We'll check back with you in just a little bit. Thank you, Summer. A 36-year-old man is dead after losing control of his motorcycle. It happened just after 9 last night on I-94 west of West Fargo. First responders arrived on scene and provided medical treatment, but the rider was pronounced dead at the scene. He was not wearing a helmet. Highway Patrol officials say his name will be released tomorrow. One man is hurt after crashing into a school bus in Otter Tail County. Minnesota State Patrol officials say the crash happened near Fergus Falls yesterday afternoon. A 43-year-old Elbow Lake man was driving on County Road 82 as the bus was turning onto that road. Both vehicles then slammed into each other. The driver of the Kia Optima was taken to a hospital, but his injuries are non-life-threatening. The school bus driver, a 63-year-old woman from North Carolina, was the only person on the bus and wasn't injured. A gunman is still on the run after shooting a young man multiple times inside a Twin Cities movie theater. Police arrived at the Marcus Oakdale Theater in Minneapolis last night for reports of shots fired. A 23-year-old man was taken to a hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. His condition is currently unknown. Police say the suspect ran from the scene and is still on the loose. President Biden announced the U.S. is beefing up its military presence in Europe to act as a deterrent to Russia. The move comes as Finland and Sweden are about to become full NATO members after a deal was struck with Turkey over its objections to their inclusion. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Speaking alongside NATO's Secretary General, President Biden announced Wednesday the U.S. will bolster its military presence in Europe in the face of Russia's continued threat.
Today I'm announcing the United States will enhance our force posture in Europe and respond to the changed security environment, as well as strengthening our collective security.
The administration says that will include the first permanent U.S. presence in Poland, adding 2 F-35 squadrons to the UK, deploying additional air defense in Germany and Italy, as well as stationing 2 more destroyers in Spain.
Together, our allies, we're going to make sure that NATO is ready to meet the threats in all directions across every domain, land, air, and the sea.
And in a historic move, NATO will expand, extending a formal invitation to Sweden and Finland after Turkey dropped its opposition Tuesday.
NATO also says collectively it will significantly increase the number of troops on standby from 40,000 to more than 300,000.
President Putin has not succeeded in closing NATO's door. He's getting the opposite of what he wants. He wants less NATO. President Putin is getting more NATO.
Finland and Sweden had applied for NATO membership in response to Russia's war on Ukraine, now entering the 5th month.
Who of you does not agree that this is terrorism?
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia has now become a terrorist state after it launched a missile strike on a shopping mall, killing at least 18 people. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Join the NATO meeting via a video conference, and NATO countries pledge to continue to support Ukraine in its fight against Russia for survival. A former White House aide dropped several bombshells at the 6th round of congressional hearings on the January 6th assault on the Capitol. Cassidy Hutchinson, who worked for former President Trump's White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, testified about chaotic scenes of Mr. Trump in fits of rage as he tried to join the crowd heading to the Capitol. She says Trump tried to get control of a vehicle by lunging at a Secret Service agent. She also described how Trump rejected plea from the staff to tell supporters to stand down.
As an American, I was disgusted. It was unpatriotic. It was un-American.
Former President Trump responded to yesterday's hearing, saying Hutchinson was giving a fake story and that he hardly knew her. A source close to the Secret Service confirmed people inside the limo are prepared to testify. They say they were never attacked by Donald Trump. The Secret Service released a statement saying it intends to respond to Hutchinson's testimony. More and more Americans want to disconnect from virtual life and go off the grid. Coming up, how the travel trend has intensified. But next, the heat and wind is returning. Summer Schnellbach is watching our chance to see some storms later today.